recent outing, and also lost to Heidelberg in their most recent outing. So it's been a while, but their fine start to the year gets them here on the big stage, and I'm sure the Bulls will be all whips cracking when the first bounce goes. So the players now moving into position. As we said, it will be Northcote Park kicking to the Preston Market end, Bundoora to the City end, which we feel might have the breeze in the first term, and it looks like it might be Barnes Webb to take the job on Moorcroft early on. There's also Sutton lurking around, and interesting guys that in the forward line stands Matthew Dennis rather than in the ruck where we've become accustomed to him being. Muller to take the first ruck duties for the Bundoora Footy Club, and it looks like he's going to go up against Potter. So Phil Plunkett just throwing a bit of surprise early on and throwing out probably that Northcote Park defence as what they might have thought otherwise. So the first bounce is preparing now, and the umpire throws the ball up. It's Potter up against Muller. Muller wins the tap down. Only as far though was Byrne, who was trying to crash through for Bundoora. He was dispossessed, and the umpire blows the whistle. We'll have a secondary stoppage here. Elimination final for 2016. Bundoora up against Northcote Park. Samuel Zito, Tom Flanagan and Dan Campbell with all the action.
Balls in the Cougars, live on 88.6 Plenty Valley FM at the Preston City Oval, and winning it down that time was Potter. Charging through the congestion was Slater, tapped out by Muller, trying to find teammate there in Mitchell, hands and knees. Eventually was able to work it out by foot to half forward. Going down hard is Violato, and he reads it nicely, keeps it in front of himself, and then boots the ball into the centre of the ground. Through the corridor they go through Neldritt. He can't quite pick it up cleanly. Muller's going to have to go in hard here for the Bulls. Good handball, sweeping one by Potter, but didn't find a teammate. Carline was able to get a hand in there and flick it back out. Now the Bulls under hot pressure. Handball back to a man in trouble, Marshall. Now Carline again, taps it out to Mitchell, who was in space for a moment, but then he wasn't. Hot footy here at the moment. Going hard is Potter at ground level, hands and knees. A lot of players on top of that pack. Out of wing, we will have it thrown up.
Geez, tremendous pressure by Northcote Park early. Every time a Bundoora man gets the footy, they're just under so much pressure they can't dispose of it properly.
So in this first term, we've gone a minute and a quarter. The ball really hasn't gone forward either way just yet. There's now a chance for the Bulls, but the handball's poor and it's turned over. Bronick Davies sends Northcote Park towards attacking 50. Brent Marshall was courageous. He got back, he filled the hole, and he got in front of Ash Close to take a fine defensive mark from the Bundoora skipper. Would have expected nothing less, for he only knows one way, and that's to go full bore at the football. He shorts a pass to Carline, and now the Bulls moving off halfback. Carline kicks into the centre corridor. It's a dangerous kick though. It's turned over, and taking a good defensive mark for Northcote Park is Jared Sutton.
Sutton just defensive side of the centre circle, goes long towards Close, but once again nice intercept mark. Bulls cutting off in front of Close's lead so far. One by Marshall, one by Mitchell, and now they move through Grabowski through the near wing, the commentary stand side of the ground. Dennis handball back over the top to Grabowski after a fumble. He wants to get it back here, Dennis, but Grabowski goes inside forward 50. Moorcroft picks it up on the half volley, snaps around on the left corner, no one there. Mark taken on the last line of defence, and away they go now, the Cougars through Jackson.
And he kicked out to White Davies, who dropped the mark. He'd take 99 times out of 100. He's got time though to chip back into the corridor, and he's found his teammate here. This is it Reid who might have had the footy there. He's kicked across the face. In fact, it's Hoare who kicks across the face of his goal. He finds Dylan Campbell in the long sleeves this afternoon. Pretty balmy weather for a long sleeve jumper as he shorts one. And he's found the ruckman in Potter. He halfback flank grandstand side of the ground. The Cougars kicking to the market end of Preston City Oval. Potter's kick is poor into the up to centre wing. David Mitchell got a push in the back. Advantage played, and now a chance for the Bulls for the first score of the game. Carl Musciano loads up from 50. The kick though doesn't have the carry, and there's no one home. Bryn Barnes-Webb picks it up, and he kicks the ball that wide towards Bronick Davies.
Had Moorcroft on the short lead there. Probably should have lowered the eyes a little bit, Carmuciano, as Davies moves it out of half-back through Hoare. Hoare right foot kick up to the wings. Precision, nice ball. And the mark taken by Close a long way from home. That's at right half-back, and he moves one into the middle. Hall's moved up a little bit further. He's been able to take a mark in the middle of the ground. A little bit of a grubber kick, but it gets to his intended target. Nice mark taken by Perry, and he shorts it as well up to half forward. Another mark taken. Manon Johnston, been an impressive player in the forward half for the Cougars this year. Chip up towards centre half forward, over the head of Svark. Went through his hands. McLennan got it back out to Svark, and now a chance here for the Bulls. The Cougars running into goal. Open shot on the left foot is good. And the Cougars have got the first goal of the elimination final. And it was really good play, working it up with the chip passes up the ground. Good marking up the wing, and the pressure there from the Bulls not as aggressive as it had to be at the time.
Brock McLennan just finding space. I guess for him, having Ash close in that lineup probably makes the job a bit easier for Brock McLennan because he knows now where the long kick's going to go into. Northcote Park have had issues earlier in the year finding that really tall, strong lead-up target close to straighten them up, and they'd be rapt that he's not playing at Collingwood VFL throughout this weekend. So McLennan roving at the feet of close, runs into the open goal and kicks the first goal here. It's Northcote Park 1 straight 6. Bundoora yet to score. We've gone 4 1/4 minutes. Matty Dennis into the ruck, wins a tap down, but only as far as Brodie Riccardi. Handballs off to Jordan Perry, who sends the Cougars inside 50, but again it's Marshall dropped the mark. He should have taken there unopposed. Shelton was there to clean up for Bundoora, swept the handball at the furlong but didn't quite make it there. McLennan now releases Coleman, kick inside 50, looks pretty good too, and there's a man all by himself lurking. It's Luke Svark, and he'll go back and shoot from 30 metres out, 5 metres out, 5 metres in from the boundary rather. Luke Svark to make it a dream start for the Cougars.
Cougars midfield right on top and making it really hard for the Bulls defence. A very quick ball movement from the middle into the forward 50, and Bulls defenders had to react pretty quickly and didn't react quickly enough. So
Luke Svark, one of the premier midfielders for Northcote Park. 50 games he's played for the Cougars now since joining over 3 seasons. Svark from the forward pocket. His shot on goal looks pretty good. He's got it, I reckon. He likes it. Northcote Park with the first 2 goals of the elimination final. The Cougars 2 goals straight 12. Bundoora hasn't scored. Dan Campbell, their midfielder, is certainly getting on top here, Northcote Park.
Yeah, they're certainly cutting the Bulls to shreds just with their ball movement and precision passing. As you saw inside forward 50, being able to spot up a target. That's 2 goals now where 2 players have just had silver service inside forward 50 and just a clear run at the goals.
Very classy finish too from Luke Svark. Difficult place to be kicking them down at the Preston Market end, in deep in that left pocket. The whistle has gone from this stoppage. It's going to be a free kick to Kane Slater. And the Bulls looking to go deep inside their forward half. A little bit stagnant. Muller not moving too much. Coming out on the lead is a man for the Bulls. Barbero. He brings it to ground. Going hard as Carline. He won't get their first ball out of bounds. And it will be thrown in right in front of our commentary position. About 75 metres out from the Bundoora goal. And Matty Dennis and Simon Potter meandering over towards the contest to take up the ruck duties. And it is Dennis on this occasion getting up nice and high, belting it out the back. Grabowski did very nicely through traffic. He was cool and calm under pressure. Slater gave it to Byrne, and now he's going to get it back on the 1-2 from Carmuciano. Grubs one towards the goal, but couldn't get it there accurately. Needed to get a bit more elevation on it because there was a man on the last line defence to rush it through for a behind.
So it's Northcote Park, 2 straight goals, 12. Bundoora, the 1 behind. We've gone 6.5 minutes here at Preston City Oval. The short kick out from defence finds its way to is it Campbell there in the pocket. Only that all the required 15 metres, that kick. That's a dangerous kick though to Hoare on the bounce. Hoare was good though, got a handball back to Campbell, now back to Hoare. The left foot kick was smothered by the man coming across. That was Furlong. He'll get the footy now, Furlong. He can weave through traffic and kick a great goal if this goes through. Jack Furlong. Fantastic work, the smother, the gather and the goal from the forward pocket. The Bulls are on the board, they're 1 goal, 1-7. Northcote Park, 2 goals straight, 12. Guys, they needed a bit of inspiration and Jack Furlong certainly delivered.
Yeah, the youngest player on the in the Bundoora side today, and showing the older guys how to get it done. He's been a good recruit since coming across from Hurstbridge last year. He's played multiple roles for the Bridges in the past couple of years and now for the Bulls, kicking big goals in the finals.
Certainly that sort of polish that wins your finals as well, particularly the 1%ers as well with the smother too.
And of course it was disappointing for Northcote Park. Their 2 kicks out of defence didn't quite hit their target and put their back line under immense pressure.
Dennis goes bang and out of the middle. Slater roving it beautifully off the wing, and he tries to lace out Moorcroft. He tried to put it in between Moorcroft and 2 defenders, but it might work out all right in the end. Doing really nicely here is Keating, but the umpire has called him out of bounds very late. Very late. He thought it was good, but it will be a throw in. He was going for the miracle goal. He turned his man inside out on the boundary line, was charging back in towards the goals, the open goals. But the boundary umpire said throw it in, so here she goes now, up nice and high. Potter and Dennis. Potter won it down, but it wasn't really effective. Barbero sharked it and he snapped the goal. Troy Barbero gets his first of the day, and after Northcote Park made the early running with the first 2 goals, the Bulls a bit back.
It is 2-1-13 Bundoora, Northcote Park 2 straight 12, and you're spot on, Tom. It's been a good fight back here by Bundoora. Again, the importance of winning the centre clearance, isn't it? They've won the last 2, driven the ball forward and put the Cougars back line under that immense pressure. 2 goals, firstly through Furlong, secondly through Troy Barbero, and it is now Bundoora with the 1 point advantage. 8 3/4 minutes played in this first term. Bundoora 13, Northcote Park 12 as the umpire throws the ball up in the middle of the ground. It was Dennis in that ruck contest against Stenicky. Give it to Dennis, and the Bulls are driving forward once again. The long kick to the pocket where a fine defensive mark was taken by Violato.
Doing that for half a decade, Violato.
Oh, his kick's terrible though into the corridor. He's turned it over. And it looks like it's Carmuciano who's got across and taken the mark. And that's the second time in 5 minutes Northcote Park hasn't been able to exit its defensive lines. Short kicks that have gone astray. And now it's Carmuciano who's got inside. And he'll go back to make it 3 goals in the space of 3 minutes for the Bulls if he can convert.
Such a wonderful intercept mark from Violato. Disappointing for him personally and for the Cougars that he wasn't able to use the ball well coming off the back of it. Because he's usually a very consistent player, Violato. As soon as you pump a man up, he goes and does that.
So Carmuciano now, he'll kick it from right on 50, 45-degree angle, maybe better than that. His kick's been hooked across the face, probably won't have the distance. It didn't get touched off the pack. It bounced through for a minor score, and Bundoora moves to 2 goals, 2-14. Northcote Park 2 straight 12, and I think the Cougars here will be hoping for some better ball movement out of their defensive 50.
It's going to be Marty Hoare who's entrusted with the kicking duties on this occasion. As the Cougars spread to the near side of the ground, the commentary stand side of the ground. Violato is setting himself underneath this. Dennis might have had a hand in the back. Umpire didn't see it. McLennan chasing hard after it. Also might have had a hand in the back from Keating. Umpire is letting the whistle go. So it will be out of bounds and thrown in once more. On the 50 here for the Bulls. Ball's been locked in the Bulls forward half for the last 10 minutes or so. After, as we said, the Cougars made the early running and kicked the first 2 goals. Dennis gets up nice and high. Lovely ruck work. Finds Carlyon. He gets out to Carmuciano. Couldn't take it cleanly. Now on hands and knees. Lots of players around the ball. Big tackle laid. And coming up from the bottom of that pack is Travis Keating. The ball will be thrown up once again. Might
be a free kick, is it? He's throwing back to the umpire. I think originally thought it might be a Northcote Park free kick. Keating there. He was throwing the ball back to McLennan, but nevertheless the umpire takes it. Spark gets the clearing handball towards the boundary line. McLennan paddles it over, so there'll be a throw in, 50 out from the Bundoora goal. They're kicking to the city end, ball grandstand side of the ground. Northcote Park the first 2. Bundoora has since settled with goals to Barbero and to Furlong as the umpire throws the ball back in. Muller perfectly down to Troy Barbero, dispossessed in the tackle. Muller goes again, so too Svark. He's so strong in the contest, but he was wrapped up by Keating. He might be gone here. Incorrect disposal. He thought he'd waved Keating away, but Keating was tenacious, and he'll get a free kick from the forward pocket. Grandstand side of the ground, pretty tough angle here. He's maybe at best 10 metres in from the boundary line. Right foot kick, it's going to be pretty hard to draw this one across, but Travis Keating with the shot for the Bulls.
Division 2 Premiership player back in 2012 with Epping. He's been a solid player, versatile player, Travis Keating, for the Bulls since he's come across. Can go back, can go forward, can run in the midfield as well. Can he kick a goal? On the right foot, this one looks pretty good. I'll tell you what, he has squeezed it home, Travis Keating, and the Bulls have got 3 in a row.
Well, it's Bundoora after a poor start. They've really responded, and it's been that forward pressure that's been fantastic. They've obviously coughed up or turned over 2 Northcote Park balls out of defensive 50, and on that occasion it was Travis Keating with the big tackle inside 50 and the resulting goal. And it gets worse for Northcote Park because Luke Svark is limping towards the bench, and it might be an ankle there. We'll get Dan Campbell to keep an eye on that one there. So not the best 5 minutes for Northcote Park. Now trailing by 8 points, having led by 11 early on as Dennis convincingly wins another tap, but it's Brodie Riccardi coming off the centre square who picks up the loose footy and drives Northcote Park towards half forward. The target looked to be Perry, but it was over his head, and the mark taken across half back by Flanders of Bundoora. Handballs inside to Brent Marshall, who goes wider to Matthew Dennis. Driving ball inside 50 for the Bulls. Coming out to meet it, there was Barnes-Webb, good spoil. Ball falls to the front of the pack, Sutton picks up. He handballs and gets the 1-2, but he's dispossessed. Grabowski with the good pressure there, but Perry's there to support for Northcote Park. His kick was partially smothered, and the ball ends up out of bounds. Grandstand side of the ground, 70 out from the Bulls' goal. They lead here 3-2-20 Northcote Park, 2 goals straight, 12.
Dennis has been dominant the last 10 minutes or so. Big reason why the Bulls have got back on top here in this first quarter. Let's see him here at this ruck contest. It's up nice and high, wins it down again, this time to Palazzolo. Byrne going in hard on hands and knees. Troy Barbero trying to bash his way through the contest. More Bulls numbers getting their hands on the ball in this stoppage, but the Northcote Park players have piled on top of them, so it will be a throw up about 65 to 70 metres out from the Bulls' goal.
So they've kicked the last 3 here, the Bulls, and doing all the attacking since the opening 5 minutes. Again, there's Dennis who wins it down to Troy Barbero. He tried to crash through a tackle, he didn't get through. That's dropping the ball. Brodie Riccardi, who's been active so far for Northcote Park, of course, a former Watsonia forward, back in 2013. His former team into the Div 3 Grand Final this year, kicking towards Cloak. He was held in the marking contest. So the Northcote Park, a big man, wins a free kick. He's got numbers in the middle here, Close.
Tough job for young Nixon today on Close.
It's a big matchup, isn't it? His kick hit the deck, but it's plenty of Northcote Park runners. Sutton the first. He dishes the handball out wide. They're moving inside 50. The kick might be a push in the back here. Coleman might have marked this actually at the back. He has. The first Northcote Park man looked to be edged underneath the footy, but Coleman just slid in from the side and he took a good chest mark, and he's going to be kicking from no less than 30 metres out on a slight angle. We know he's a pretty good kicker goal, Coden Coleman.
Has great memories on this ground. In the grand final a couple of years ago, 6 goals.
Yeah, of course, against Heidelberg. He was probably second best on ground that day. Anthony Hogan winning the medal for best on ground, and Coleman comes in and his side needs a lifter here. They've been poor over the past 8 or so minutes. Coleman comes in, his kick on goal is fading across. It won't score. The pack emerges, and off hands that ends up out of bounds. There'll be a throw in beside the behind post here for Northcote Park. They currently trail 2 goals straight, 12. Bundoora 3-2-20.
Deep in the Northcote forward half. He's right against the behind post, the left behind post. Rucks to go at it. It'll be close doing the ruck work, but Dennis once again gets another tap out into space. Furlong had hands on it. Now Palazzolo getting wrapped up straight away. Big tackle laid there on that occasion by Fallon, and he won't be rewarded. It's going to be thrown up about 20 metres out from the Northcote goal. Still a dangerous spot here for a stoppage. This time Close is able to win the hit down from Dennis. Dennis got his hands on the ball, so did Close again at ground level, and now he's wrapped up once more. We should have yet another stoppage. It's another 2 metres closer to the goals.
So the ball just lingering inside Northcote Park's attacking 50 here, closer to the ruck work up against Dennis. Dennis just jumped into him and grabbed the ball out of the ruck. Kicks it a good 40 metres out of the fence, on the bounce maybe 50, but doing some good work defensively there for Northcote Park was Jackson. Centering ball was a good one. They've got runners on the inside here taking the mark. On this occasion is the youngster, it might be Reed, who kicks inside towards 50, but his kick wasn't great. Potter with the good tackle there brings the Bundoora defender to ground, and there will be a ball up on the 50 for Northcote Park.
So once again, rucks to Jewell in the air, and this time winning it down is Potter, but Dennis went after it for a second effort. Furlong laid a big tackle at ground level, another stoppage. 50 metres out from the Cougars' goal. Mid to late stages here in the first quarter. 3-2-20 Bundoora, 2 straight 12 Northcote, 16 and a half minutes gone. Dennis at ground level, working hard. Northcote Park trying to get it out of this congestion. On this occasion it's Perry. He spun around in the tackle, but he's able to get a kick away. Now kick out of congestion from Mitchell. Is it going to reach the boundary? It's searching for it, but no, keep it inside and pick it up just inside the line of Bundoora man, and he laces it out towards Lord, but he couldn't take the mark straight away. Off his hands and out of bounds. That was Flanders who delivered the ball.
It might have actually been out of bounds from when he originally picked it up. The ball's been run back towards half forward for Northcote Park, so the boundary umpire saying it was out before he gathered the football. As Dennis again just grabs it out of the ruck. He's been in commanding form this season. He's dominating this first term, and now the Bulls moving through centre wing. Palazzolo drives the ball towards attacking 50, Keating the target. He went to ground. Now the chasers emerge. Barnes-Webb led Moorcroft to the footy. He paddles towards the boundary. He was held without the ball. It'll be a Northcote Park free kick. It'll go to Bryn Barnes-Webb. He'll be 30 metres out from his defensive goal.
Barnes-Webb, solid young player who's been the Northcote side for the last few years. 105 senior games for 52 goals. In the back pocket on this occasion goes long down the direction of Potter. Might have had his arm chopped there. Umpire said no. It was a fair contest by Muller. It will be thrown in once again.
Dan Campbell's at ground level just a few moments ago.
Yeah, Luke Svark on the bench, obviously, with a bit of discomfort around his ankle. He actually declined a bit of extra strapping and ice from the trainers, and he's actually jogging along the boundary as we speak. So he seems okay to be taking further part in the game.
Big hit by Ben Shelton. Flanders going in hard now. Palazzolo crashes his way through the pack. Burns spinning his way in and out of traffic. Could have been holding the ball if he had held onto it for any longer, but Davies with a hacking kick up to half forward. Now here go the Cougars. An open 50 if they can use it well. No, not quite. Handball was awry. Now going hard is Marshall at ground level. Byrne there to help him out, and he's tackled over the boundary line. Good aggressive footy. Josh Turner laying the tackle. It will be thrown in once more.
Yeah, well, they were away there if Johnston's handball had hit the target, because as you said, Tom, was an open 50 and Turner had space to run into if he had been able to take the ball, but the handball going behind him, he had to backtrack as the umpire throws the ball in. Forward of centre for Bundoora, picking it up and sending it forward for Northcote Park is Jordan Perry. High up and under ball. Furlong was courageous. Ran back with eyes only for the football and took a good mark on centre wing. And he's off away on that left foot. It's a mongrel punt towards half forward. Doing the spoiling. Sutton at ground level for Bundoora, lurking dangerously. Grabowski got a handball out, but Bronick Davies was there to sweep up. He handballed out to Hoare, whose kick didn't quite find Mildred.
And again.
Great one-handed mark by Slater.
Slater's away, gives it to Keating, the last goal scorer for the Bulls. He kicks it long and high up to the hot spot. Muller stands underneath it and clunks a big one. 10 metres out directly in front, and surely will put through the fourth of the quarter for the Bulls.
Oh, that's a dreadful kick out there by Northcote Park. It's how many times this quarter have they seemed to clear the ball out of defence only to be intercepted by a Bundoora man.
And it's always been that short option they're going for as well. So when you turn it over, you're not getting any depth in the kick as well. It means when it does get intercepted, it's in a dangerous spot. And we saw that time there as a one-handed grab by Slater. And now a chance for Muller. The great kick to the top of the square. They knew they had the height. And Isaac Muller for his first. The Bulls fourth. Straight through the middle. Bundoora's really responded over the last 15 minutes. And they're now in a commanding position. The Bulls 4 goals to 26. Northcote Park 2 goals straight 12. We've gone close to 20 minutes in this first term, and it's been Bundoora who's settled the better in this contest.
And as he said, Dan, the ball use off half-back has just not been up to scratch for a final from Northcote. The pressure's great from the Bulls, and they are winning it out of the middle. Northcote actually in the first 5 minutes when Potter was winning the hit-outs, getting the first use of their midfielders, finding it a lot easier to hit targets in the forward half. Since Dennis has been getting on top, they just cannot move it away from the back half once it gets really deep in the Bulls' line.
Whistle's been blown in the centre. It's a Northcote Park free kick, and it looks like it's going to be Perry's. No, he's given it now to his teammate and captain in Davies, who quickly goes out wide, and he's found his target, Riccardi, who's been good in the first term. Davies is barking directions beside he, as Riccardi now kicks into the man on the mark. Again, the poor skill level of Northcote Park continues. Dennis paddles a ball off half-back. Potter was tough there for Northcote Park, kept his body over the footy, Noldrit desperate, but it's Bundoora who emerged through Troy Barbero. Wrapped up in a tackle, Marshall got one high, who got a free kick for the Bulls on the half-back flank.
Putting his body on the line here in the first quarter. A great intercept mark in the opening minutes, and then just there going in hard and winning the free kick for his team. Nipper Marshall, great start by him. David Mitchell on the outer wing, gets it into Slater, former Northcote Park player. He goes with a looping handball over the top, finds Carl Lyon on the burst, doesn't have to break stride, gets one on the half volley to Keating. If it had been a little bit higher, he could have swallowed it, but it was a tough one. Keating now has to go in for the tackle, and the umpire said it was a clumsy one, a push in the back. So it will be a Northcote Park ball about 30 to 35 metres out from defensive goal.
Great desperation there by Bronick Davies. Just got the hand on the Carline kick, and it affected it. It meant it fell short of the lead-up target, which was, of course, Keating. Had his man by a few metres. As now Hall again off half-back. Opts to go long this time. Up towards centre wing. Close to target. Close. Strong mark in front of the eyes. He wheels and goes straight through the corridor. And the Cougars are moving now. And it's Sutton. Handball over to Campbell. He's got plenty of space to work into. Long kick inside forward 50. Nixon couldn't take the mark for Bundoora. Coleman threw out the handball. Here's a chance for the Cougars. Snap towards goal. Might go through. No, there's a man back. Dropping the mark though on the last line of attack was Potter. Tried to slap it back in the path of McLennan. Snap around the body. Hits the inside of the post. Well, they made hard work of it, and in the end didn't get the goal they probably deserved with a great passage of play there. Fandridge's kick to the goal square, and Potter dropped one he should have taken. Did well to recover, but McLennan snapped towards goal, hitting the inside of the post. The Cougars are 13, Bundoora 26, 22 minutes played.
He said they had to work hard for it. I think they had to work harder for that forward 4-0 than any of the other forward 4-0s from any team so far in this first quarter. That was difficult work moving it up the ground, and unfortunately for the Cougars, no reward. Long ball out of full-back. Slater's at the drop of the footy. Campbell's the one who gets his hands on it, though. Might have copped a high one from Simpson. Umpire didn't see it. Said it was held to him, so we'll have a throw-up. But yes, the pressure has lifted, especially when the Cougars have got the ball. The Bulls are all over them at the moment. Going up high on this occasion. Potter wins it down. Here's a chance. Clearance from a stoppage. Nice work by Perry, but the kick from Fallon was smothered. Now the Bulls trying to go the other way through Mitchell. Sidestepping one was Furlong. Oh, lovely spin out of traffic. And now Flanders goes the other way. Right foot kick up towards full forward. Violado's going to have the better spot, but Lord's going to get the crumb of it. He gives it to Grabowski. He spins around one. He can use his right foot very nicely, Josh Grabowski. And on this occasion, it is no exception. Josh Grabowski, first goal of the day, and the Bulls are opening up a pretty handy lead now.
Well, the Northcote Park defender there could have taken the mark on the chest, and they would have been out of trouble, the Cougars, but on that situation he opted to go for the spoil, and it didn't quite come off, and it's cost them a goal.
That's more talk than anything, isn't it? Because he did the team thing, he brought it to ground, not marking as a defender, but if he had had the voice talking to him to say you've got space to take the mark, he would have done so. Lord had tried to get at the back and get the easy kick, and as it turned out, by the ball hitting the deck, he was able to get involved and dish out the handball to Grabowski.
And you can see the difference in pressure through the middle of the ground. Bundoora were able to just canter their way through the middle of the Preston City Oval, whereas Northcote put under a hell of a lot more pressure than the Bulls were. Free kick's gone here out of the middle. Lovely tackle It was by Riccardi, and it'll be a holding the ball free kick to the Cougars.
He's been their best, hasn't he? And what was a dream start, 2 goals up after 5 minutes, is turning into a nightmare here for Northcote Park. They've been blown away by a pretty slick Bundoora outfit who've kicked the past 5 as Riccardi, who's been Northcote Park's best probably so far, kicks towards half forward. A strong mark taken overhead. This is Stenicky who's got some space, and now they're moving quickly. He gave it off to Perry. Kick inside 50 was atrocious. On the bounce, it gets towards close. He had to work hard twice for it, but Byrne picked up for Bundoora. Sent it as far along as he could. His target was Simpson. He was outworked in that contest there. Here's a chance now. Nice work there by Sutton. Handball didn't find its mark though, and a chance to get inside for Slater. Handball was dangerous into the corridor, but he's backing up now, and a chance here to kick the ball out wide through Furlong. And now look at the Bulls go. Ball comes out towards Simpson. He's kicked inside 50, not his best effort, but it still favours the big man in Lord, who centres one up for Moorcroft.
Seriously good footy. It all started with Slater at half back. That was sensational.
They're just being able to get Northcote Park on the transition, aren't they? They lose the ball at half forward, Northcote Park, and how quick is Bundoora to spread across the ground once they get the ball through half back? They've just got acres to work into.
Tremendous vision as well.
So Gary Moorcroft for his first. He's kicked 6 in both of his contests against Northcote Park this year. Shot on goal is straight through the middle. The Bulls have 6 in a row, and they move to 6 goals to 38. Northcote Park, 2 goals, 113, 25 points the difference. Gary Moorcroft puts through his 414th Bundoora game in his 114th appearance. Again, the competition's leading goal scorer this year, the second time he's done it as a Bull.
Well, Tom, you mentioned that the Bulls are all over Northcote Park at the moment in the pressure stakes. It's certainly the case. They're just not being able to use the footy to best advantage Northcote Park at the moment, and Bundoora just turning it over so well, spotting up targets all over the ground, and that goal's a result of that.
That play by Kane Slater at half back was a class above, I reckon. That was sensational work, the way he was able to weave out of traffic and set up his man running into the open 50. Big tackle laid after the stoppage again in the middle of the ground. Good tackle by Byrne, and it will be thrown up once more.
It is a free-flowing game, isn't it? So for Northcote Park, it's a big deficit at the moment, 25 points, but it looks like there's going to be a game with plenty of goals in it, don't you think? And Dennis is dominating, though. That's the one player they have to stop. He's driving a ball forward. Moorcroft in front, takes the sliding mark.
Absolutely thrashing him, Matty Dennis.
He's just started the first 5 minutes out of the ruck, and they conceded 2 goals. He's gone in. He's just grabbing the ball out of the ruck, showing his opponents no respect, really. He's just jumping over the top, grabbing it, driving it forward, and now he sets up his 2-time premiership teammate Gary Moorcroft to make it 2 goals in the space of 2 minutes. The Bundoora veteran to make it a 31-point advantage. Their goal kicking's been pretty good so far in this quarter. Moorcroft gives that one a bit of elevation. It's got the distance, it's got the accuracy. Bundoora with 7 in a row. The Bulls 7 goals, 2-44. Northcote Park, 2 goals, 113, and now it really is a concern. We said it's a free-flowing game, but it's too free-flowing for the Cougars. Like Bundoora is smashing them through the middle and inside their forward 50.
What do you do if you're Northcote Park in this situation? Do you send an extra man back? Do you tag Dennis around the ground somewhere? Just something to nullify his influence.
It's the accountability in the midfield for starters. Some of the key mids for Northcote have really have to start getting their hands on it pretty quickly. Here's Davies now. Might be half a chance. No, he's beaten off the ball there by Mitchell. Palazzolo using his body nicely. Get to the bottom of the contest. They really need blokes like Davies to get involved pretty quickly, because he's one who can turn the game in their favour if he gets his hands on the ball, but hasn't seen a hell of a lot of it while Dennis has been dominating this first quarter. Byrne, once again, first hands on the ball of Bundoora, man. High one up towards, only a metre in distance, but about 10 in the air. Dennis at the bottom of it. Sockers one out into a bit of space. Keating, first man to be able to take possession of it. Strong core, but he was dispossessed of it, but bounced back to Flanders. Flanders found Young. Young's a good kick of the ball. Can he bend this one back through the wind? He does, and the Bulls have kicked 8 goals in the first quarter and are absolutely running riot.
Well, how good do they look, guys? This is the best that we've seen a Bundoora side look for a couple of years, I almost feel. I know they smashed Heidelberg by 75 points earlier in the season, but they are running on all cylinders at the moment, and their kicking a goal has been absolutely elite. That was a fantastic running goal by Ben Young. Almost, or maybe Furlong's the only goal that was better than that one. Fantastic response here by Bundoora. They are now leading by 37 points, having trailed by 2 goals early in this contest.
They just be able to find players in space too, the Bulls. Young on that occasion had no one near him.
50-point turnaround in a quarter. Unbelievable stuff here from Bundoora after being 2 goals down early. And the pressure is just sensational. Hall really struggling to get out of defence here. Now a rush kick to a bit of space. There's a one-on-one at half forward. Here's a chance for the Cougars. If Mannon Johnson can pick it up. He was slung off it, not having it. Marshall a little bit reckless there with his tackle. Hadn't taken possession yet, Johnson, when Marshall laid the tackle. So Johnson will have it about 70 from home. Late chance here for the Cougars to score. Gee, they need to put some scoreboard pressure on the Bulls. They've got it about 60 from home now. And they're pretty stagnant in the forward 50. Goes to a short one-on-one option over the head of the man he was looking for. I think it was McLennan. He was going to McLennan and one-on-one in the air, which is probably not the best option. He's the shortest man on the field, and now holding the ball. Brought down was Naldred on that occasion, so it will be Bundoora ball at half-back. And they have completely dominated the back 20 minutes of this quarter after Northcote looked like the better team in the first 5. Marshall, the general back there, using the ball nicely out of defence. And he's able to find Carmouche. Pellerin was just pretty much non-existent in the last 10 minutes of that first quarter.
So the Bundoora huddle just dissipates now, and so too Northcote Parks. We've got Dan Campbell at ground level who will get a hold of in a few moments' time, but obviously at quarter time, Northcote Park with its work certainly cut out. 8 goals, 250 Bundoora. Northcote Park is sitting on 2 goals, 113. Dan Campbell, can you hear us at ground level? Might not have Dan just yet. Also around the grounds in the first semi-final in Division 2, the Fitzroy Stars a 3 goals 2-20, Diamond Creek 5 goals 0-30. Of course, that game there, the winner rather, goes on to play Hurstbridge in the preliminary final next week. And Dan, have you got us at ground level?
Yeah, we've got Phil Plunkett down here, the coach of the Bundoora Footy Club. Phil, champagne footy in the opening quarter, just really free-flowing footy in that term. What was the main message at quarter time?
Oh, look, we just had to, I thought our endeavour and our pressure was really good, and I thought that was the main key that we did do. It wasn't so much the breeze that made us score, it was our pressure and our intensity, and I just said to the boys, same sort of effort this quarter, really put them under pressure, and then we can see that they scored into it, but we can too, so that was the main focus.
Matty Dennis is dominating.
Yeah, he is. He's done that all year, so he's a terrific player to have at your helm.
Thanks, mate. Good luck.
Dan Campbell at ground level with Phil Plunkett. Plunkett obviously pretty content. His side well in the clear at quarter time. Did kick with the breeze, but certainly it's not a breeze worth 37 points. His side outstanding in the first term. 8 goals, 250 the Bulls. Northcote Park 2-1-13. The Cougars now have the assistance of the breeze. Can they mount a comeback here? They're going to need to pull out all stops to get back into this contest, trailing by 37 points. The players have now moved into position. We're not far away from a restart. Second term action in the 2016 Meadows Greyhounds elimination final. Tom Flanagan, take it away.
Here you go, it's Muller and Potter once again. A little bit of a slip for Potter, but he's able to get the tap down anyway. Big tackle laid by Slater straight away. We'll have a secondary stoppage to start things here in the second quarter. 8-2-50 Bundoora, leading Northcote Park 2-1-13. And a quick kick out of the stoppage to half forward for Northcote. He was met by David Mitchell, who a little chipping right foot ball finds Furlong. He's able to release a man off half back, and a right foot kick up towards Trav Keating, clean bowling. The kick was from Nixon. He might need to follow it up here. Nixon. Grabowski goes in hard and works really well to win the hard ball at ground level. Then a right foot high one in the direction of Moorcroft. One-on-one, he's under it. He might have had a hand over the shoulder, but he takes the mark anyway. He plays on. He snaps towards goal and hits the post. Dribble towards the post. Probably could have taken a bit more time and had the set shot.
Disappointing result, isn't it? He should have gone back and had the drop punt. Maybe he's been watching Joe Danaher in the AFL snap when the drop punt's applicable.
I think the other thing was he's conscious that he's ticking into the wind, that it might be by the time the pack got back, it might get touched on the line. So he tried to get it there without any congestion, but unfortunately for he, it was touched on the hit the base of the post.
Ben Young, David Mitchell going hard, also close for Northcote Park at ground level. Riccardi tries to slap it out into space. A lot of numbers around the ball. At half forward here for the Bulls, we will have it thrown up 60 metres out, right in front of the Cramers Hotel. Cramers Hotel side of the ground. Tapped down by Potter. Good kick out of the air. Finds a man at half forward. He couldn't take it straight away in Johnston. Now the ball goes the other way here for the Bulls. Nice use off half back. Finds Carmuciano. He's pretty much on dead centre wing. Tries to kick it up towards half forward. And Dennis is the man who puts his hands underneath it, sticks them up and takes a nice grab. Too far out to score, about 60 metres from home against the wind. He's been a good player so far today. Matty Dennis kicks one high into a dangerous area. Moorcroft is the one roving it. Moorcroft is the one snapping it. And Moorcroft is the one kicking his third goal. And the Bulls run further away.
The Bulls now 2 minutes into this second term, lead 9 goals, 3-57. Northcote Park stuck on 2 goals, 113. Moorcroft with 3. He's kicked 3 of the past 4 goals of this game, and he's looking really lively up forward. He's getting plenty of service, and he's already had 4 shots on goal for 3 goals and a poster, and looking really dangerous.
One of the main things that Phil Plunkett talked about at quarter time was the fact that the wind wasn't a factor in their run of goals. It was more their pressure and their ball movement, which is netting them great rewards at the moment.
Ball back in the middle now. Potter won that one for Northcote Park, but it was Barbero of Bundoora with a little toe poke out. Furlong dropped the ball at his laces, then picked it up, handballed towards his teammate there. Looked to be held without it. There was Nixon coming through and kicking the ball forward for Northcote Park was Perry. Looking for Johnson. Violato's been swung forward. Picks up the loose footy. Shot towards goal. Isn't bouncing kindly for the Cougars. Minor score. 2 goals, 2-14 Northcote Park. Bundoora 9-3-57. Just under 3 minutes played in this second term.
Violato forward, I think that's a good move. Big body target in the forward half. Kick long too.
Yeah, he's certainly a key swingman for them. It's a shame for them that Galafaro isn't there to hold up the defence when Violato goes forward.
So Young out to Shelton. Left half back. Benny Shelton. Chips over the top looking for Nixon. He's got the headwear on after maybe a little bit of a cut earlier in the day. Nixon 50 metres out from defensive goal. End up on the boundary line. Tries to make a picture-perfect pass into the middle, and it's going to work out. Kane Slater getting the free kick for a bit of front-on contact, and might be 50. No.
High risk, high reward, isn't it there? It was definitely a free kick. Slater was charged into there by Johnston, but if it had have turned over in that spot there, it's almost a certain score for Northcote Park, whether it be a goal or a behind. But fortunately, at that time, on that occasion, Slater was impeded by Manon Johnston, so he gets the free kick at half-back.
Slater's been a fantastic player so far in this first half. Uses Shelton out wide, and Shelton now long down the line looking for Muller, who's going to rise, and he can't bring it down, but Dennis at the foot of the pack has got his hands on the footy. A lot of players on top of him, and there will be another stoppage.
Ball's just attracted to Matty Dennis, isn't it? Just fell on his lap there as he went to ground as the ruckman compete now. Potter won that one down. Northcote Park had the numbers at ground level but couldn't take it cleanly. Now it comes out car line, weave through traffic, handball over the top to a running Keating who slipped over, but Matty Dennis again weaves through traffic. Long kick towards the goal square. Moorcroft flew from the back. Unrealistic attempt, and there'll be a free kick for Northcote Park to Bryn Barnes-Webb. Of course, we've seen Moorcroft down at that end of the ground take an absolute hanger back in the 2013 grand final. Couldn't emulate his heroics there.
Like Matty Dennis weaving around the halfbacks like a rover. Sensational work by him. And the Bulls are going to have to defend hard here as the Cougars come out of defence. Chip pass over the top onto the wing, looking for the man at halfback. Can't quite see which player has the ball at the moment. He's got it right in front of the Crime Hotel side of the ground for the Cougars. Chip in the Davies direction. It's over his head. It's going to run towards the boundary line. Nipper Marshall again puts his body on the line. Needs some help from Ben Young, but the ball is ushered over the boundary line and will be thrown in. Dead centre wing, outer side of the ground.
So it's the Bulls with the last 9 goals of this contest. They lead early in the second quarter, margin out to 43 points. It's been a pretty free-flowing game here. Northcote Park need a response as the ball's tapped in the path of Coden Coleman. Picks up cleanly, wrapped up by Keating in a tackle. Got a handball out wide to a teammate, Perry. Kick inside 50. Well, getting back and taking a good overhead mark was Mitchell. No 15, so he had to play on straight away. And now the Bulls are leaving their defensive 50 through Barbero. Kick poor. Turner couldn't take the mark, but he handballed back to Riccardi. Couldn't get through a tackle though. He was wrapped up. Nearly gone there. Furlong again reacting quickest. Tackle, then kick forward towards centre wing. The ball bouncing. Northcote Park with the numbers. Campbell picks the ball up. He's going to aim for the switch on the far side. It's a good kick too. He's got a running target. Hall. A lovely left foot kick of the football. Kicks towards full forward. Close had his arm chopped. No free kick paid. And now the Bulls leave their defensive lines. Here's Brendan Carline.
Carline working it out off half-back. Handball was a dangerous one to Grabowski in space because there were Cougars numbers everywhere. McLennan goes to Davies. Davies swung it around to no one and needs to step up a bit more than that. Brian Davies going to have to use the ball better if the Cougars are going to get back into this contest. That was ordinary disposal and it found the arms of Furlong, who eventually works it through teammates out to Carmuciano, and now on the outer side of the ground a marking contest, and Simpson sees it over the line.
You mentioned that Northcote Park are going to have to use the ball a lot better this term. They've certainly got the wind as well, so the end that they're kicking to, they really want to make the most of that if they're to peg this margin back.
So it'll be Dennis once again going up against Potter. This time it is Dennis again winning it down into the path of Carmuciano, who paddles it out in the direction of Carline. He's going to have to go hard here. Carmuciano may have won himself a free kick there. Yes, he has. He went in for the ball first, and he might get a 50 here. The umpire, is he calling him forward? Yes, he is. Not exactly sure what the 50 was for, but a clumsy one at that, and not one that Northcote can afford to give away.
So this will put him potentially in scoring range. He's kicking into the breeze here, Luciano, but the man on the mark's going to be standing the best part of 25 metres out, so you back him to have the distance from here. And this to make it 10 goals in a row for Bundoora if he can convert.
Luciano. No, it will be Carline actually. He's got the ball. He's handed off to Carline, so he must have been the one who received the free kick initially. So from 25 metres out, 45-degree angle. Brendan Carline for the 10th goal of the day for the Bulls. And he's missed.
So minor score there. They've been really accurate at goals so far, Bundoora. 9 goals, 4. One of which has hit the post. 2 posters to that end of the ground. Of course, Brock McLennan hitting the right goal post as well in the first term. It's Marty Hall with the kick-in duties. He's going to kick to himself now, and he exits in a long kick outside of defensive 50. He's got two men to aim at there, but he's kicked it over the both of them, and coming in and taking the intercept mark is Brent Marshall. He wheels around quickly, kick inside 50. Hall was really strong overhead, got the ball to ground level, but it's Bundoora again with numbers. Furlong wrapped up in a tackle. Byrne was as well, but again it's the Bulls with all the numbers. Slater was dispossessed in a tackle, too slow, and that's holding the ball. The Cougars can now bound away. Hall kick into the corridor, finds its target. Well, a juggled attempt there. Mark paid, and now they're moving through Veronic Davies. Straight away the Cougars captain goes through the corridor. Good kick towards Coleman. Couldn't hold the mark overhead. He was good at ground level. He was desperate in his attempts, but again the Bulls with sheer weight of numbers get the ball forward by Keating. Slater's got a paddock to work with if the ball bounces for him. It does just that. He wheels around a would-be tackler, goes back by hand to Furlong. Kick into the middle is a good one too. Keating's taken the mark inside the centre square. He switches the play to the far side of the ground. Bounces the ball towards Brent Marshall, the skipper. He has to go backwards by foot. Not his best effort there, but it just gets to Shelton. And now the experienced defender goes up towards centre wing. His target there was Dennis, bounced in front of him, but again he just works his opponent out the way. Handballs up the line, and now they're moving through Liam Byrne. Kick inside 50, looking for Simpson. Oh, he spilt an easy mark there, couldn't get it. And at ground level, Northcote Park had the numbers. Simpson was desperate, so too Moorcroft, but Northcote Park will win out with sheer weight of numbers, and they drive the ball towards the half-back flank. Dangerous kick. Bronick Davies, if he can take it cleanly, he can, and now he moves towards Josh Turner.
They worked it out defensively nicely there, the Cougars, and now an opportunity to go forward. Kick up towards Johnson, takes he thought he'd taken it, he dropped what he should have taken, but had time to recover, and then a lovely precision ball into Violato.
He can go the journey here, I reckon, Violato.
He is one of the boys who can get the job done from this distance. Julian Violato, we've seen him do it before.
Well, the man on the mark's about 48 out, just inside the paint of 50. He's a thumping kick, we know. He's got the wind in his back. He's got no angle to speak of, and I like the fact he's going back and taking the responsibility.
The NFL's number 1 swingman in the last 5 years goes long to the goal square, and close went up for a screamer, but couldn't get his hands on it. It sails through for one behind Violato.
So it's a minor score for Northcote Park. Just their second score for the term. They're 2 goals, 3-15, kicking with the breeze. Bundoora out in front, 9 goals, 4-58. As the ball now coming back into play, it's going to be Brent Marshall. And the ball skipper now. All the short options have been filled up, so he has to go long, looking for Nixon, getting across, trying to make the spoil. There was Fallon, but he couldn't get there. And now Nixon moves the ball up to Furlong now. Carline, short one up to Grabowski, back to Carline, has to work around the boundary line. That looked out. He couldn't get to a teammate up the line, and in the end, running it out of bounds is the youngster and Harrison Reid.
Right in front of the interchange gates. We are 11 minutes gone here in the second quarter. 58 plays 15. Here's the Bulls with a 43-point lead and doing it nicely. Here's Byrne out of the stoppage, works it back to Flanders, couldn't take it cleanly. Now wrapped up in a big tackle there is Riccardi. Ball at ground level, flicked out to Nixon. Now Byrne again, just gets it on his boot. High up to half forward. Dennis is going to be the first one to get there. Oh no, he isn't. A brilliant slips catch out the back. Sensational work there on that occasion by Reid. He was going back with the flight. A seriously courageous mark. There wasn't anything coming the other way to hit him, but a great mark nonetheless by Reid. And he gets it up towards the wing, and roving it off the pack is Fandrick. His right foot ball is no good, straight in the arm of Nipper Marshall, who has been sensational halfback, the general, for the Bulls.
He's been really good, hasn't he? So sure by foot as well. He's opting to go back again this time. Shelton the target. He's got a wider option in Mitchell. Hell, this one bounced. Just kept in play by the veteran. No, it's not. The umpire with the late whistle said it was out of bounds. And there'll be a throw-in at half forward for Northcote Park. Can they make Bundoora pay on the counter-attack here? Of course, it will be a throw-in, but it's on 50. At least they have the ball in their attacking half of the ground. Haven't scored a goal since the 5th minute of the first term. Slapping forward there was Sutton. Now there's a chance. Running in Perry. You'd back in from here, but the kick was poor. It's out of bounds on the full, and the goal-kicking woes continue for Northcote Park.
Bundoora are just doing it too easily at the moment, too, around the ground. Northcote Park just simply need a man up. They're finding too many men in space so often, Bundoora Bulls.
And blazing away too often Northcote as well, which has been a real issue. We saw Nipper Marshall over here on half-back kick backwards to Benny Shelton, where he could have blazed away and kicked it straight to a wall of Northcote Park players. Just took an extra couple of seconds to be calm and find the option behind him, and then Shelton was able to go forward from there. Northcote just haven't done the smart little tricks like that across half-back today.
So the ball at half-back as Barbero releases a teammate whose kick was smothered. That was Flanders. Good work there by Brody Riccardi to get his side a boundary throw. And Andrew Carmucciano just walking the boundary. They were assessing his arm. He looks to be okay. He shook off the trainer. So there'll be a throw-in. High half forward for Northcote Park. As we said, they've gone over a quarter of play without a goal here in pretty good conditions here at Preston City Oval. As winning that tap was Muller, but chucked at the back of the pack by Perry. Gets a kick inside 50 under Duras. The target via Lardo. Shelton good from behind. Got the ball back to Flanders. Back to Shelton. Dangerous handball for Young. Had to control a hot footy. Won a handball out to his teammate Nixon. Now back inside. They've done it well here to Bulls. And really doing well there was Young. Kicks towards centre wing. His target will be a leading Travis Keating. Was pushed in the back there. Gets himself a free kick. How was the work in defence though by Ben Young to just so calmly dance around a few would-be Cougar tacklers?
So if Cougar players in a similar situation would have just bombed it straight back into the middle and been in set mark. But clever to work it out, Ben Young. Lovely work off half-back. And now Marshall once again. Precision ball into the middle of the ground. Finds the man in Brenton Keating. He's just defensive side of the centre circle. Moves it out towards the wing. And Slater, who's been a very active player in this first half. Former Cougar himself. There's the footy.
Palazzolo just making his way to the bench. He might have copped onto the nose there. He's
the tomato sauce bursting out there.
Yeah, running towards the benches. Dennis handballs over the top to Carline, who's been immense in this second term. Sends a long ball towards attacking 50 for the Bulls. Off hands. Now where's it going to go? Picked up by Campbell. Tried to break through a tackle. There's a high free kick paid out of this, and it will go to the Northcote Park man. The free kick against Furlong has been good, and there might be 50 as well for Descent, I think, here. So that'll march Dylan Campbell up towards half forward for Northcote Park. We've gone 14 and a half minutes in this second quarter. It's Bundoora 9-4-58. Northcote Park 2-3-15, having kicked the first 2 goals of the day. Campbell now. Can he find a target? Violato wants it long. He's going to go in that direction. It's an inside-out torpedo. Hard one to mark that one. Front of the pack, McLennan lurking dangerously. Davies as well for support. Going again, McLennan, but really well at ground level was Byrne, tenacious at the bottom of the pack. And he gets a ball up for his side. Yes, the umpire blows the whistle now. So there'll be a ball up, 55 out from the Northcote Park goal, kicking to the city end in this second term.
58 plays 15. It's been a big half from the Bulls, 43-point margin they lead by here at the Preston City Oval in the elimination final. Division 1 Northern Football League season 2016.
Throw.
And there is a throw that's been paid. It's going to be Potter with the footy. He wants to give it off straight away. Doesn't want to kick at the ruckman. He gave it to Sutton, who used the man out wide. A long high one from Perry towards the goals. Is out for the left and one behind.
So minor score to Jordan Perry. Sees Northcote Park go to 2-4-16. Bundoora 9-4-58. The margin now an even 7 goals. Certainly the win favouring the city end. We've said that a few times. But Bundoora would be content with the fact that they've scored the only goal for this second term as we approach the halfway mark, and the short kick finds its way to Young. He's got numbers on this near side. Slater, you can hear the crowd trying to give the advice. He's got a shorter man still, which was Nixon. Didn't go forward, just went laterally there. Nixon is now going to switch across the face of goal back to almost where it came in Ben Young, and he's got the ball nearing his defensive goal square.
Muller wants it long. He decides to head just short of that direction. Slater flies high, went through his hands. Troy Barbero trying to get his hands on the footy. A couple of Cougars trying to impede him as well. Big tackle later. Eventually there will be a stoppage at half forward.
Round the grounds in the first semi-final in Division 2. It's Diamond Creek rather with a 23-point lead. Fitzroy Stars 3-2-20. Diamond Creek 7 goals 1-43.
Slater went third man up. Sharky it nicely though is the man in Fallon. He gets it to Violato, has to pick it up on hands and knees. Did well to work it back out of traffic, and now Reed with the left foot takes it wide and he's able to find Johnson. Johnson
dear.
tries to loop one into space to a man who's going to get tackled straight away. It was Hoare. He gave it off to Coleman, normally a clever player on this end of the ground. Oh, McLennan spun around one, straightened himself up, left foot kick, here's a goal. He's got his second. Brock McLennan, a much needed one for the Cougars, and they might just breathe a sniff of life into what looked like a relatively dead contest.
Again, made hard work of it, but it was a lovely pirouette, wasn't it, by Brock McLennan. Just danced around a defender there, kicked the goal. I think he might have been legged on the way through as well, but had the composure to steady. And I like the game of the youngster Harrison Reid, making his debut in a final, if you don't mind, but he's looked composed. He took a couple of nice marks, and his kicking by foot's been really accurate, so he's been one positive for Northcote Park, but they've got a big deficit to overcome here. 17 minutes played, second term, they're 22, trailing Bundoora 58.
So he's Potter this time, he gets first hand on it. Dennis tried to lay a tackle but couldn't stop him from getting the ball away. Mitchell's the first one to get hands on it after the ball came out of the stoppage, but the umpire said the ball was held to him and will be thrown up once more. Preston City Oval, beautiful day here in Preston for Northern Footy League finals action. And it's going to be a free kick to the Bulls coming out of that stoppage. I think it was to Dennis, but the advantage has been paid and they move it to half forward now with Keating. Keating got it from Carline and now goes long on the right foot to a really dangerous hot spot. Flying is Barbero. He brought it to ground. Barnes-Webb at ground level, but working hard again is Barbero. Got his hands on it, worked it to a teammate. That teammate was Lord, who gave it to Moorcroft, and Moorcroft snapped for a behind.
So a minor score for Gary Moorcroft there on the non-preferred, but he just looks so dangerous every time the ball gets there. It's 9-5-59 Bundoora, Northcote Park 3-4-22, and the short kick out finds its way to Perry, who's been good so far today, and his short's one further afield. This is Sutton, still inside defensive 50, albeit high defensive 50, and now he'll be forced to go long. He sends it towards centre wing. The big fly came from Potter, but he couldn't get hands to it, and there'll be a throw-in. Half forward for Bundoora. They lead this contest at the moment by as much as 37 points.
Big lead for the Bulls, going close to half-time now. Here's Dennis, who gets up nice and high and once again belts it out into space as he has done all day. Barbero's going to be the one who runs onto it, tried to handball it out to Grabowski in space. He continues to paddle it in front of himself. Can't take clean possession of it though because he's in hot pursuit by a couple of Northcote numbers. And they're able to lock it to him. It will be thrown up right in front of the old scoreboard here at the Cramers Hotel side of the ground at the Preston City Oval. And thrown up, here it is. It's Muller. He goes high, slaps it out to Keating, couldn't get hands on it. Now the run of it is McLennan. He couldn't pick it up. Marshall going in hard. McLennan went again, did really well, released a teammate Fallon, right foot high one. Gee, it's a high long one. Violato's got the sit of it and takes a great chest mark.
Two great bit of play there for Northcote Park. Firstly, it was McLennan off half back. How good was he in congestion there to work his way through, get the ball forward, and then Violato. He was against an experienced defender in Shelton, but he read the play. He just got front spot. He's a big body to try and spoil around. Just held that front position, held the drop spot, and took a good chest mark. Now needs to back up his good work with the goal. He comes in from right on 50. Violato's kick is straightening, but not enough. It's just missed to the left. And Northcote Park moves to 3-5-23. Bundoora 9-5-59 as we enter time on in this second term.
It's a real shame this quarter that Northcote Park haven't been able to transfer a lot of their play onto the scoreboard. They haven't been without their chances. They had quite a few this quarter and could have really pegged that margin back by quite a way.
So it's going to be Marshall to bring the ball in. You heard the umpire giving him the hurry along there, so he kicks to himself and goes to the near side of the ground. The target was Dennis, and against three players, he took a strong mark. Matty Dennis, he's been superb. He wheels around quickly, kicking towards Nixon, who was brave, stood under a high footy, flicked the handball out looking for Furlong, didn't get a kind bounce. Now he's tackling Turner, stripped him of the ball, picked up by Troy Barbero. Wheels the ball towards half forward. Simpson got an unkind bounce, and picking up and sending the ball forward for Northcote Park was Jackson, but the kick was intercepted and spoiled out of bounds by Nixon. There'll be a throw in. Grandstand side of the ground, half forward for Bundoora, attacking to the Preston market end in this second term and leading comfortably. They're 36 points ahead. 21 minutes gone, second quarter. Dennis and Potter again, and it's Dennis again who wins it down. Palazzolo, hands and knees. He's got his face taped up. Looks like Juddy when he had the tape over his nose. Exact same sort of setup there for Joey Palazzolo today. And going up high this time is Potter. He wins it down only as far as that man Palazzolo again. He is a bull. He just barrels in every single contest of the day. Sensational play to watch Joey Palazzolo. You can hear that wind just starting to pick up a bit. You can hear it in the effects mic because the umpire throws it up half forward for Bundoora. Coming up third man and smacking it forward was Slater. Couldn't quite pick out a teammate though. Dennis again picks up at ground level looking for that man Palazzolo. He's wrapped up in a two-man tackle. Ball moving nowhere. It's just stuck at half forward here for Bundoora. Grandstand side of the ground, Preston Market end. Good day for footy here. Plenty of sunshine, albeit the clouds are starting to come over now as the umpire throws it up again. Simpson does the ruck work this time for Bundoora. At ground level, Northcote Park with all the men, but Perry couldn't take it cleanly. Did eventually, but his handball was poor. Turned over now. Chance for Bundoora trying to crash through there with a great success in the end was Furlong to Simpson. Stripped in the tackle. Ball's wrapped up in a big pack now and the umpire calls for it. 50 out from Bundoora's goal.
He's paid a free kick, and it's going to go Northcote's way. So Northcote off half-back now. Play on straight away. Long high one direction of Close, who's not going to get there in time. At ground level is Marshall, who's been sensational all day. Uses Young, who's an improved player this year. Handball from Slater finds Mitchell. Mitchell finds Palazzolo. Gives it back to Slater by hand. Slater's chipping ball finds Dennis at half forward, and he's going to give it back to Slater again. Slater has to sidestep one. Maybe should have gone back, Matty Dennis, and looked for an option further afield because now they've turned it over. Northcote with a chance to move out of defence.
And they kick towards, a pretty poor kick in the end. It was three Bundoora men waiting for the footy. This man is Grabowski. Sends the Bulls inside. 50 mark taken, or is it in the back? It's paid to Mark the Lord in the forward pocket. 30 out, 5 metres in from the boundary line. James Lord to go back and aim at Bundoora's 10th goal for the afternoon. They currently lead by 36 points. This will be Lord's first shot of the game.
Yeah, this would hurt, as Dan said before. Northcote have had plenty of opportunities in their forward half to get back into this contest in the second quarter. Bulls have only had it in their forward half for the last 5 minutes, mainly in this second quarter, so this would be a devastating blow for the Cougars if Lord can convert, and on this occasion he's pushed it out wide to the right for his first score of the day, one behind.
Not a bad attempt, wasn't he? He tried to really kick through the ball to, I guess, make up for that wind pushing across, but again, it's still got a hold of it, forced it wide. Minor score, 60 plays, 23 now, closing stages of this second term. Around the grounds, it's the Fitzroy Stars 20, trailing Diamond Creek 43 in the first semi-final in Division 2 as Northcote Park worked the ball across both sides of their defensive 50 now. They've brought it to the grandstand side. They're trying to go for the long target, which looks to be Sutton, flying from the back. Slater went one-handed, gave a good boot to the man in front as well as the ball falls to Simpson. Kicks towards a vacant goal square, but it's Northcote Park with men getting back. It's Marty Hall who takes the mark on the last line of the fence, and now he wheels the ball around to Bronick Davies.
Davies try and move it out of half-back and finds the man there in Reid, the youngest man on the field today, on debut in this final. Elimination final at the Preston City Oval. Long one by Reid to Violato, brings it to ground and then follows it up. He's able to use a teammate who kicks a high up and under to half forward. There's no one there for the Cougars, but a whistle has gone while the ball was in the air. All the players stopped.
It might be a downfield free kick it is. I think the player who sent the forward received a bit of treatment afterwards, and the ball's now in the hands of Mann and Johnston, and I think all the pack emerging there were happy to hear the umpire's whistle go, because there was players running from all directions and it could have been real carnage. They all stopped with the umpire's whistle. So Mann and Johnston now to make it 2 in a row for the Cougars. Must kick from here, 30 directly in front. He's just snuck it in for the Cougars. They've kicked the past 2 goals here and they're cutting into a big deficit. It's Bundoora, 9 goals, 6-60. Northcote Park, 4-5-29. Margin back to 31 points. We've gone 25 minutes in this second term.
Well, Northcote Park really just need the next couple of goals, don't they? If they're any chance of winning this, they want to go into half-time. I don't think it's possible at this stage of the quarter, given how they've gone so far, but certainly they'd want to cut in the margin before Bundoora adds another goal, surely.
So the margin, as we said, back to 31 points, closing stages of this second term. It's been an opening half. Well, not so much opening half dominated by the Bulls. It was an opening first term dominated by the Bulls, and the Cougars have tried to work their way back into it. They've kicked the past 2, but the free kick's gone against them in the middle of the ground, and it's a free kick to Liam Byrne.
Byrne on this occasion goes out wide, finds David Mitchell, take the mark, just defensive side of centre wing. And he's able to chip up further to Palazzolo, who's been busy in this second quarter. Plays on straight away, uses Simpson, who gave a bit of a don't argue, tried to crumble one up towards half forward, picking up there is Byrne. He got tackled straight away. Great tackle, Bronick Davies, that is holding the ball. And they need a bit of that inspiration, the Cougars, from their skipper, if they're going to lift and get back into this contest in the second half. Good kick by Davies. He's able to find a teammate there in Hall, who chips over the top, finds Reid, the youngster, another one who's been busy in the second quarter. 18-year-old Harrison Reid. What an opportunity for him. He kicks it long and high on the left foot, gets it up towards half forward. Villado surely was taken out, has to get a free kick. An advantage has been paid. Johnston goes for goal, and Johnston puts it through for his second in a row. And you know what? The Cougars might be coming back into it.
Well, they certainly look alive, don't they, the Cougars? I was just saying just a moment ago that they needed the next one or two just to give themselves a chance, and they've certainly done that. In this quarter, as Sam mentioned before, it's been quite even in terms of after the Bulls blew them out of the water in the first term.
So the margin cut back to 25 points. Lovely roving goal there by Manon Johnson from the free kick from Violata. But for mine, that play goes all the way back to a desperate tackle from the skipper, Bronick Davis, in defence. He chased down Liam Byrne, won the free kick, and they were able to push coast to coast. 2 goals in 2 minutes to Manon Johnston, and it is Bundoora 9-6-60 leading Northcote Park 5-5-35 around the grounds in the first semi-final in Division 2, Fitzroy Stars v Diamond Creek. It is the Stars 5-4-34 trailing Diamond Creek 8-1-49.
Potter got it down and won this one, but Dennis followed it up and was able to get it towards Byrne. Now crashing in is McLennan. Big bump laid by Carmuciano. Lots of numbers over the footy. And it will be thrown up once again. No, it won't, because that is the siren for half-time. And Northcote, well, they're not without a sniff here in the second half. 2 late goals breathed a little bit of life into the contest. And at half-time, Bundoora in the elimination final lead 9-6-60 to Northcote Park 5-5-35, a 25-point mark.
Well, in that term, it was Bundoora adding the 1 goal for, of course, kicking into the breeze to the market end in that second term. Northcote Park, those late goals. Northcote Park, those late goals. Northcote Park, those late